I guess, yeah, ready to go?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Outlands is a space real-time strategy focused instead of building up the biggest fleet you can, thousands of starships, and just piling on to another thousands of starships fleet. It is based around having a small number of ships that you kind of make into your own small fleet. It's like having your own set of Millennium Falcons in a sense, where you care about your starships and the state of them, versus just send 100, and if you win and you've got 30 left, oh well, right? So its current state, we there's a tutorial level and a survival level. I'll go through the tutorial just a little bit, but I won't finish it, and then we can go straight into survival because it's the new mode that I've been working on currently.
Ooh, fancy.
Thank you. Yeah, so as well as the tutorial, I also like to call this the pretty one because it looks much better than all of the other levels that I've built. So yes, very, very good, very fun. Yeah, so as you jump into the tutorial, you get characters within the game kind of talk and instruct. So the tutorial is very much an introduction, not just to the mechanics of the game, but also the general tone, I'd say as well. I always feel like whenever I'm going through the tutorial, it feels very slow to me. But then I've been playing it a million times, so I know how to play now. Yeah, so basic sort of left click to select, right click to move. The starships themselves will all have different abilities, like broadsides, speed boost, stuff like that. Cool. Okay, so
Wow.
uh, and we'll get to like this bit, and then we'll jump into survival. I think it's more interesting for for a demo.
I got stuck after this bit. I didn't know where to go.
You did?
I got as far as this bit I did in the tutorial, and then I wasn't sure where to go next.
That's really interesting, actually. Okay, I'll play a tiny bit more so that we can see where you got stuck and where. Yeah, basically. Did the enemy scout spawn for you?
I can't remember. Yeah, I got the message from the other ship telling me they were sending coordinates. Yeah, that message.
Okay.
And at that point, I didn't know where to go.
It should be an arrow. You're making me nervous now because I'm like, oh crap. Maybe it went out in an update. Ah.
But also, I was playing with top-down view, so maybe that's why I didn't see it.
Oh yeah. When you're just on top down, you won't see it. The idea of this kind of part was to really encourage you to switch views where you like for the situation. But yeah, I can see how that could definitely be an issue.
Yeah, I see it now.
Maybe a top down. Oh man, maybe an arrow from the top pointing through. That could be interesting. Sorry, what did you say? Someone said something, and I was just talking over them. Sorry.
No, sorry. I was just saying, like one of the characters giving you a prompt about switching views.
Or even I would say a button that you press and it does it for you, so you can see that you can switch the camera. That can be interesting. I don't know.
Well, at the very beginning, it talks you through scrolling in and out anyway, and a big part of the philosophy of the game is like as few buttons and like as clean of a UI as possible. Because a part of what I personally dislike about lots of real-time strategy games at the moment is just the amount of UI on screen at one time and how many buttons I need to press to do one thing. So I really wanted it to be kind of the opposite of that in this one. So you notice that well, aside from too many explosions there, as the starship's damaged, it will change its at the moment just its material, but I'm switching that to meshes, so it's going to have visual battle damage instead of health bars.
Mm.
Cool. Travel.
How
And
big's
then
the
in the
team
game,
working on this?
Ooh.
mainly me.
No way.
Oh man, the game is pretty.
Thank you. Oh, let's go to menu so that I can. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, that's okay. Survival. There we go. Oh, please click. There we go. Man, everything, like, is it broken? So, survival plays a little bit differently to the main kind of campaign of the game. So the campaign will be there's a number of star systems that you travel between, just like in the tutorial when you go from the asteroid field to the planet. What's happening on those planets is always happening, no matter if you're in combat or what. So it's always kind of live. So if a planet's being attacked, you need to choose, okay, am I going to defend that or am I going to attack this one or vice versa? It doesn't stop when a battle takes place. But the main thing that I've been focusing on with the survival mode is really trying to get down the basic feel of combat, because I feel if combat and destroying enemy ships doesn't feel great, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
In a sense.
no.
Oh.
Someone just threw the screen away.
Why?
Oh no!
It was nice
Who
to
did
see.
that?
I liked it.
Where did it go?
There we go. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
Ish. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Oh crap. Go away message. Cool.
You just go up
So-
and touch the screen, Carlos.
Yes, I did.
So yeah, in this mode, as well as just destroying starships, you have options with the starbase. So when I select the starbase, I can choose to repair my starship, or I can choose to purchase new ones. Originally, this build did have two, and then I tested right before I was going to build it, and one of them would cause a huge FPS drain on collisions, and I realized, well, I can't build it with that. So the next one will. How fun! But, yeah, so it's got 10 waves, and it is fairly challenging, I found, from people playing it. Does anyone have any questions so far?
I have one question.
One?
I'm actually a big fan of space RTS games. I really like Homeworld and Homeworld 2, and I'm really like into them. But here you seem to only be able to move on one like 2D plane, right? Can you go up and down as well with the ship?
No, this one's based on the 2D plane.
Okay.
You sound so disappointed.
I mean, fair enough. Like, I guess that simplifies a lot the combat, right? Like, because how do you select which ship to attack specifically? You just right click on it?
So when you let's bring in another starship as well. So when you want to target a enemy ship, you right click on it, but you can right click on specific components. So here I can click on the front to get rid of its turrets, or I can click on its bridge or its engines to slow it down. Once all of those subsystems are destroyed, and you can tell based on as the material changes, the mesh will change as well. Let's repair the starships so they don't get destroyed completely. What was I saying? Yeah, so you can tell based on the damage that you can visually see. Then once that's destroyed, the starship will be wrecked, like this one, and then that can detonate. Anyone can shoot a wrecked ship, and it will blow up and cause damage to starships around it.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So my question is, you want to try and keep the spaceships alive, right, by taking care of them. Is there any type of ricochet or like correct way to strategize your ships? You know, like in tank combat, you try and put them at a 45 to mitigate or increase the chance of ricochets.
There isn't a ricochet system, but there is there's not a ricochet system, but there will be a shield system. So you'll be able
system.
to so you'll be
Rotate
able
the
to
ship to
angle your
whichever side
shields.
shield is. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
I was wondering about the meta behind taking care of your ships.
Yeah,
That
so
sounds
the
really
idea
cool.
behind the shields is that when you buff one side, you absolutely weaken the other, right? So
Yeah.
against bigger starships, that's great because they're slower and they're just going to pound one side. But the smaller ones that otherwise wouldn't do much damage will do a ton of damage because they can move pretty fast and get to where you're weaker. So that's where the meta kind of is created, in a sense, where you have all of the starships are useful in different ways, instead of just being like, well, this one's the most expensive, so it's clearly the best, so I'm going to have all of them. Any more questions?
Is there going to be multiplayer?
Yes. It will have multiplayer skirmishing, so like both players will spawn in a map and fight. It won't be like a campaign with multiplayer.
Are you making the art yourself? Because it's actually really pretty. I really like it.
Thank you. All of the hard surface stuff I did. The asteroids ended up actually being from a pack because they were better than the ones I made. And I thought, well, I mean, like, ego is ego, but if it's better, like, if it looks better, it looks better, right? Like, I can't put worse ones in because I made them.
Why are rocks one of the hardest things to 3D model? I don't understand.
It's weird, isn't it? Because like making an okay rock is easy. Making a really nice rock, what? Like it's magic.
No, man, but like, yeah, congrats. I really like the aesthetic. Like, it's really nice to look at.
Thank you. Yeah, once I started getting the art in and it started looking nicer, it really started feeling like a game. For a long time, it was just kind of code and some ugly starships, and it was like, man, this is never going to be finished. And then as I spent time really putting it together, it's like, wow, it's really cool. And especially with the new HDRP pipeline in Unity as well, that's really helped. Ooh,
which version of Unity is this?
This is version, I think 2019.3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as much as I would like to go to as much as I would like to go to 2020, I don't want to fix more stuff than I need
Yeah,
to.
of course, yeah. And they released 2019.4 yesterday.
Oh yes, they
So in
did,
theory, you
didn't they?
should
Oh, I've lost.
Yeah, you should backface that other one.
Yeah, no, it's a good shout. Cool. Yeah, that's about the game that I've got so far. There's new stuff coming in the next build, but that's not been finished yet because it's broken. Yay. Cool. So I'll close that.
Who's doing your audio?
Sorry?
Who's doing the audio? Okay.
The audio has been a combination of people. So it's
Nice.
basically been like if I can find someone who has a little bit of free time, like, hey, could you do this thing? So it's been that. It's been a couple of asset packs and stuff. Because my skill set is design 3D and basic programming. So, but like nothing in audio. So I'm just like, please, someone, I need assistance.
No, it's cool because I couldn't hear the audio as much because I guess it's through like so many layers of stuff to hear in this environment. So that's why it's like, yeah, I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, when I was playing the game, I had to turn the game itself down quite low just so I could hear you guys as well. Because at the moment it fucking blasts, and I need to sort that out as well.
Nice. I mean, it sounded really good from what I can pick out through this. So yeah, cool.
Which I imagine was partly your imagination as well, just filling in the gaps. So,
Maybe.
wow, I'm imagining this sounding so great. But no, I
We'll see.
appreciate that. I do.
Yeah, no, it looks like a really slick package already. So yeah, well done for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You did it.
Thanks. I'm planning to finally launch it, the demo publicly, hopefully within like a week and a bit. I'm just trying to fix in a basic customization engine and more camera controls and a couple of other tweaks based on people's kind of frustrations. But once that's done, yeah, it's going to be publicly ready to play and criticize. So that's gonna be fun.
Nice.
People will be like, why can't I move the ship up and down? Am I right, Carlos?
Yeah, I think I will be like, if I play that game, I will very likely want to, strategize in which position I place the ship, so it will do the most damage to other ships.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know if
there is an element of turning the ships as well, because facing a starship with most of your guns is definitely better, and also facing an enemy with a side that isn't messed up is probably pretty good too.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that will be quite a lot of fun to play with. And I think the going up and down is not that important. If the core gameplay is fun, it's okay, dude. There's lots of spaceships games like this one, and they're super fun to play.
Cool. I'm going to quote you on that. I'm going to quote. Yeah, he said going up and down is not that important.